batch where we have to put cow dung to the floor and sit and study. You may laugh at it because you are all lucky people born in silver spoon, but we had that much tough life. And it was very fisheries, fisherman's school, very village. Though that Mr. Hafiz, he was asked to go to town city school, his father said, no, go to that school. It's a very good school. Because at that time, parents wanted the children to suffer a little bit, walk a little bit, then go to study. They should, take trouble to study. So that's how whole thing started. And as a result, the whole community, people wanted to have a 100% result. And the fisherman community elected me as the school people leader. School people leader is something great because at that age, to become a leader of the Mogavir fisherman school, a non-Mogavir, it's impossible. So they are so organized, Hafiz will certify that. And I got a very good chance to take the leadership, and that leadership through our NCC, it helped me. We taught a discipline, a governance, a government-like speaker, all these things, Prime Minister, Chief Minister like this in the school. So we studied that time only.
I think your student leadership days and also sports must have made you very popular, and also with the girls at the time.
That is my birthright.
That's okay. Moving on, in 1966, you actually stood for elections, and at that time, can you tell us about, I think it was your father's role as a councillor, and then you took over from that. And so, was that kind of political leadership in your blood, or was it something just happened by accident?
No, that is, my father was a freedom fighter at that time. And he was sitting councillor in that area. And he retired. And people, at the average age of the council was around 26. And I was 24. And we have formed a committee, and we won the election with thumping majority. And we did a very good job in the municipal corporation. We did water supply, underground drainage, school, roads, all these things we did. Widening the road, blacktopping the road, and it was a very good thing we did.
Was this good learning ground and good training for you as you are today?
It is a very good experience for us. First thing is the leadership. Secondly, the community giving back to them, whatever the amenities they want, which I am practicing today. And that really gave us very good platform.
Just before you came to the Emirates in 1973, it was a tough time for you financially. I think you had started running out of money. You even borrowed money to pay for your sister's dowry, as I understand. And could you tell us what emotions you felt when you were at that stage and how you found your way out of it?
See, you might be reading in the paper now, everywhere corruption, 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 in India and other countries. But within us, we couldn't think of it because we are disciplined, we are straightforward, we are not corrupt at all. We were not polluted to the extent. I'll tell you one small story. Since I was the municipal vice chairman, one Brahmin came. He wanted a Temple Road one house. Previously another man came. I want to sell my house. I just said, you go and take that house, it's very good. You can't believe. He bought the house. He was so happy. And as you rightly said, I had financial problem. As I was putting credit petrol to my Morris Minor car, he came and gave me 20,000 rupees. You can't believe. I threw it on his face. I didn't have 2 rupees in my pocket. But still, I got insulted that he paid me money. But as on today, it's a real estate business. Everywhere. You do some transaction, somebody else will come. My commission, my commission. It was never heard of at that time. So that's how I lost everything. Because we gave enough amenities, be it education for the children, or sickness to the parents, or maybe marriage, or house construction, whatever they come to me for help. I used to give. When you give, in the end, if there's no money coming in, it's completely drained. So that was the stage I was in. So that's the time I had a chance to come here.
What were your emotions when you were getting on the plane, saying goodbye to your mother, coming here with her advice? What was going in your head at that time, 1973?
I'll tell you. everybody in the community, they were against me leaving in Udupi. Shetty, TAPI group could not become the president of Udupi Municipal Corporation. You have become the vice president, so you don't leave us. The people, the love made me to, they made me to say, I will not go like this till the last day of my expiry of the visa. So I said, what is better? I evaluated things. Whether this is better to serve the people without money, my reputation, everything will go, and debt is piling up. I can't tell the people. People don't know that I was in debt. But in the meantime, I thought it's a good decision to go to Abu Dhabi, UAE, where it just got liberated and they got independence, just a new country. So I thought, let me try my luck. That's why I needed to come here.
And what was your mother's last bit of advice when you left?
So, as you rightly said in the presentation, she said, Maga, Maga means my dear son, you can go wherever you want to go, but be good to 10 people around you. That is God's blessing. Take it for granted. I came to Abu Dhabi with that blessing.
Yeah. You applied to many, many jobs, and you were being rejected in those jobs. And I'm sure a lot of people here must have gone through that experience. What was your experience at that time? Did it make you feel stronger or more determined? What was your emotion?
You know, at that time, I'm a clinical pharmacist. As I came, applied for a job. In the government, it's important that you should know Arabic to dispense the medicine and everything, which I did not know. So that's the time, nowhere I could get the job. Government job is the best job. Private job is not a good job. So I went to one shop where they had no vacancy, but I went to their warehouse. There I saw pile of cartons and Badu houses, you know, like local houses where there is seepage water coming in. 2-3 cartons level, there's wet and they throw it out. So I said, look, this is a chance for me to take your goods out and sell. Let me please give me an opportunity so that I can sell out. What? You will sell the goods out? How you can go? I am telling you, my dear young entrepreneurs, I am glad to tell you today that I was the first outdoor salesman as a medical representative in the whole country. There was nobody was going out and selling. Nobody was going out and selling. So I started this, and having started, you know what all the benefit I got? Sorry,
No, please go ahead.
The benefit I got was, I got to know the people, distributors, stockists, everywhere. You know, I was selling Nivea cream. Kamalpur is Dubai agent. He was sitting like this, and goods, you want goods? Pay money here and collect it from the warehouse. To that much they trust the people. You know, they don't go and count the carton, no. So I have to take the carton, go take my van load, and then take to Abu Dhabi and sell it. This is how we sold it, and this is how the development started, the wholesale business.
Now we will look at some of the professional journey from a salesman to a billionaire. And it's a very, very fast track. And I think a lot of people around here must be wondering, how can one fast track life in such a way? What are your thoughts?
I don't believe that I'm a billionaire. I always believe what money I have in my life.
Okay.
Wallet is my money. But I'll tell you, everybody in the country, they appreciate whatever I was doing. And as on today, if at all I have succeeded in setting up the medical center, diagnostic center, all these distributors and stockists, they gave me goods on credit. So you sell and give the money. Otherwise they don't sell that goods. So that's the type of confidence they had. And even the diagnostic equipment they gave and we installed at a very discounted 40% discount pay in installment. That's how I could get it. And even the clinic when I started, it was only one flat, 2-bedroom flat, half my office, half my residence. And one flat, my wife's clinic, and laboratory and dental clinic. Down below, a pharmacy, one shutter. And no bag even. 150 dirham Samsonite bag, I was putting on a lap and making invoice. At that time, 150 dirham for a Samsonite bag. I still have it, kept it as a souvenir. It's a very good story to tell you. I feel very proud when I see this.
And that is what is so amazing. You started with very humble beginning. you put in about 15,000 dirhams as early capital, I believe, just to start these things going. What advice do you have for people to really take it from there to where you have reached? Because we can't seem to find a way to connect the dots. The distance is too big. You probably have a secret for us.
My dear young entrepreneurs, you don't need money to do business. If anybody says without money you can do business, here is an example. It's a case study for anybody to understand. I went to Harvard. In Harvard also OPM course. They also said the same thing. Like an astrologer, they ask questions. You don't do, you are not money, without money you did business? How? He called me to MBA students to give a lecture. You can't believe, all the students are hanging here. Just tell us, we are taught here to manage family fund. So that's how the whole thing. But here I am telling you, have your full faith in yourself. Be straightforward. Be loyal to yourself. And take the proposal to any good bankers. I think is sponsored by Emirates and BD. And I'll tell you, I am one of the beneficiary of the bankers. And you have your loyalty, you have your strength in yourself, strong mentality, your passion to do business, bankers are there to support. Even till today, they are supporting to the highest. I'm telling you, it's a very good thing. Thank you, my bankers. You are my real partners. Thank you.
Let's stay with the NMC, and it developed very rapidly. You brought in healthcare to Abu Dhabi and to this region, but you hit tough times in 2009. And tell us about that, because there the bankers were really not nice to you, were they?
Mr. Qureshi, we have just crossed a little bit, because let me also tell you how I started the clinic. It's very interesting for them to know.
Yeah.
When I came to this country, I came with the blessing of my mother, with that preaching I told you. And here in the country, Sheikh Rashid Saeed bin Maktoum, as well Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, they are the best rulers, very benevolent rulers. And I was watching them every day in the TV. One of the preaching they give is quality health care for all at affordable cost. So having had my mother's blessing with that preaching, and when I saw in the black and white TV here, I thought, why not I start this? A private medical center clinic with all the facilities. So that is how I started. And having started, many people told, Shetty is hitting the head on his rock. Everything is free here, he is charging. How can he do this? So then finally I said, what I did was little bit added service. I still remember for 2-3 patients I was going out and calling them, why you see the board and going out, come. Imagine, now we have got nearly 5,000 patients a day, but that was the day for 3 patients I was chasing them. So this is how the whole thing started.
Let me put a little...
NMC Group, a multi-billion-dollar diversified business conglomerate in the UAE with interest in healthcare, financial services, manufacturing, hospitality, retailing, beauty care, information technology, and real estate.
Sorry, I think it must have cut short. Anyway, that was part of the NMC group, and we'll talk about it a little bit more in a second. Just moving forward, and let's stay with the NMC for the time being, and then we'll come back to the UAE exchange in a few minutes. You went for an IPO in 2010. Why would a UAE-based company, when there is so much liquidity around here, and with so much trust and so much closeness that you have, would you go to a London Stock Exchange to raise a couple of $100 million? It doesn't immediately make sense. Why did you do that?
Let me tell you very frank, even bankers are here. We are tough time. We are not spared by the local recession as well as global recession. But what was happening at that time? We give cash to our principal company like Nivea, Pfizer, all these companies. And we give credit to the big supermarkets, shopping malls, whatever the shopping mall, and they don't pay. They pay 6 months later, though they are supposed to pay within 60 days, 120 days. So that's where the liability increased and cash crunch came to us. So bankers also worried, how to fund this company. In good bank, they valued us at 1.6 billion dirhams, but they were scared to fund us bridge finance. Though they promised us they will give. So that's where the challenge came to me. And when we gave the mandate to somebody, one good company in Abu Dhabi, they could not pay my bridge finance what they promised, or the private placement what they promised to take. Then I had to cancel after 6 months, and I had no other way than going for good IPO. And let me tell you, one of the best qualification what I had was right from the day one, 1974, till we went to IPO in 2011. It has been excellent total profitability. First profitability of the company was 72,000, and last was almost 150, up to 150 million. But no cash flow. Profitability is there, but no cash flow. Bankers only can understand. Others can't understand.
I can understand. Trust me.
So that's where we had really crunch. Then we went to London with my pre-qualification, of our NMC pre-qualification. This is what we are, and we are lucky that we are the first company in GCC now got listed in FTSE 250. It's the first time ever in the GCC country, and this is how when they rang the bell, they announced in London Stock Exchange. See, FTSE 250 premier listed, which is very, very prestigious for us. We generated nearly $187 million. We were valued at $1.6 billion dirhams, and we diluted only 30%. After that, we got syndicate loan by a couple of three, four banks, and $200 million or $150 million they gave loan. By the way, bankers are still coming, take money now, take money now. But when it's raining, they were not willing to give. There's a proverb, when it rains, they take the umbrella away, but not our bankers will. So that's what happened, and we are now deploying that money, not encashing myself. We are deploying by making a 100-bed hospital, women hospital in Abu Dhabi, the first private maternity hospital, which will be opening by April 1st. Then we are also deploying it to 250-bedded super specialty hospital in Abu Dhabi, Khalifa A, with the 55,000 square meter land we got by the government, and we are building that with 12 we put the foundations for, and the construction going on. Then also in DIP, Dubai Industrial Park, we are making one general hospital that will be opening by June because decoration going on, and one daycare center in Musafa. So like that we are deploying the fund, and fortunately we are doing extremely well. Fortunately the share price also doing well, going up every day.
Today it's actually going up.
Yes.
I'm a business strategy advisor for many companies, and the one thing I always talk to them about is focus.
Yes.
And when I look at your business portfolio, it's about diversification. And you have so many different businesses, from money exchanges to hospitality to technology, pharmaceutical innovation. How do you strategically justify that?
As I told you, I came with the blessing of my mother, and as a result, what you said now, why I do this? Be good to 10 people. All my business is service oriented. See, the clinic, medical center, hospital, service oriented. From there, a retail pharmacy is service oriented. Retail pharmacy, and wholesale pharmaceuticals. So that is also there. In addition to that, you asked to exchange, you now want?
Please, yeah.
So then you said diversification. Exchange. 1980, there was a time where to take one draft for our labor class, for others, it used to take 8 hours so much rush. So that's the time I went to the central bank governor to ask permission for us. Because that was a sick company at that time, UAE Exchange Center, if I can be allowed to say. There was a loss of 18 million dirhams. And with the help of the bankers, I took over the liabilities and expanded UAE Exchange Center. As on today, it's the best UAE money remittance company in the world. In the world, with the 600, we are into 33 countries with 666 direct branches, and we have one product known as Express Money in 125 countries in 145 locations. So that's the cross-country money remittance we have. We are all over the world now, not all, 33 countries, Australia, Europe, America, Canada, everywhere we are there, but still we have to go for Uganda, African countries and all. So that's how the whole thing started.